This is ABC15 Mornings.
A third vaccine is on the horizon.
This is the perfect vaccine for mass vaccination events where you don't really want to try and get people back.
And this one could be 100% effective.
The risk is much lower because it's less prevalent in our communities.
Achieving herd immunity. A special ABC15 Health Insider report on how, what it means, and how we get there.
People are realizing how much more flexibility an ESA affords their family.
How one legislative bill could drastically change education across Arizona.
That's what the Draft House is all about. It's just that family style love and feeling, of just good comfort food.
Combining Arizona with New York, we have the perfect place to order your Super Bowl meal. Yes, a lot to look forward to here on this Friday morning, including that nice weekend forecast.
But first, we are going to start a little differently this morning with ABC15 investigator Dave Biscobing.
Tonight, the start of a major new ABC15 investigation. It's an investigation about protests. They swept the nation and Phoenix, but for two very different reasons. One side against police violence, the other against democracy. And this investigation is about the difference. It exposes the two different systems of justice.
If had been a group of Black Lives Matter protesting yesterday, they would have been treated very, very differently.
That's especially true in Phoenix.
Biden is a rapist.
Our police and prosecutors target one side, but tolerate the other. This investigation exposes how Phoenix police and the Maricopa County Attorney's Office target those who protest against them. And use the badge and the courts to punish critics.
Stop politically prosecuting. Stop killing us.
We're calling this investigation politically charged, and that's for two reasons. One, because this issue, this moment in America, is politically charged. But more directly, it's because you're about to see people facing political charges in modern-day political prosecutions brought by officials trying to make political prisoners. And we don't make these claims lightly. We spent months digging into protest arrests. We obtained never-before-seen video, internal records, secret testimony, and confidential information. And in our first report, we're about to show you a stunning case. A group of people protesting police violence, now charged as a criminal street gang. A street protest, a group huddled, marching together. Ask Phoenix police and county prosecutors. This is a gang.
They try every tactic they can to inflict as much pain as they can on us.
A gang, they say, with members who endanger us all.
Threat to our community.
Listen to police and prosecutors, and it all sounds really bad.
The threat to regular, normal members of the community.
Until you see their case, see the people.
Are you a gang member?
No, I mean, it's completely insane.
I thought it was a joke.
But it isn't a joke. It's real. It's police and prosecutors who critics say are out of touch, out of control, without accountability. Their response, arrests, prosecutions, all politically charged. It all began on October 17th in a downtown Phoenix park. It's where 17 people, including Amy Caper, met for a protest and march against police violence.
Well, I've been a big Black Lives Matter supporter for the last couple of years. My partner and I saw the flyer on Instagram and decided to go. It was really close to his apartment, so that was that.
Phoenix police have gathered intelligence on protesters all year and monitored social media for demonstrations, so officers were already at the park, waiting.
It was our first protest with this group, so we really didn't expect that at all.
This is your first one with the group?
This particular group, yes.
And yet you're now being accused of being in a gang with them?
Correct.
Alleged gang member Amy is 28. She works IT in healthcare and is a master's student.
Did you know you were in a gang?
I didn't, no.
Okay.
Again, it was the first time I had met any of these people.
Do you have like a gang tattoo or insignia?
No, I do not.
So what gives? Well, first, here's what happened. ABC15 obtained multiple videos from that night. Officer body cameras, police surveillance footage, witness recordings. After leaving the park, the 17 protesters began marching down Washington Avenue.
How many police?
I mean, I would say at least 40.
The officers and their vehicles in tow. To slow and annoy the police, some protesters tipped cones, toppled temporary street signs, dragged barriers. In this video, one of them released a toy smoke maker, the kind used in gender reveal parties. You can see officers drive and walk around it. This video is from an alt-right, quote, patriots group, marching next to officers, cheering police on.
This is dope. We're walking right alongside PD.
The women also taunting as the group chants.
Bureau of Land Management,
The whole thing lasts roughly a half an hour, and it ends here at First Avenue and Van Buren. The group slows, huddles, forms a dome with their umbrellas. Officers move in, arrest the entire group. They're later indicted on multiple charges: rioting, aggravated assault, obstructing a thoroughfare, and the gang charges.
Didn't even have a speeding ticket until 2 months ago, so I think I am trying to just, I haven't come to terms with.
So you've even before this, before these run-ins with Phoenix police, you've never even had a speeding ticket?
Nope.
Alleged gang member Suvarna Ratnam was a Harvard student. She's a regular with others in the group. They've protested together before, multiple times, with police watching and tracking them. Suvarna also arrested during an August protest.
I've been falsely detained and falsely targeted for arrest and charged with fabricated things more than once.
And we'll dig deeper into her case in our next report.
She's not a gang member. She's, she wasn't jumped into anything. She doesn't spend her time terrorizing people. You don't have to worry about walking down the street and seeing her.
Ken Countryman is Suvarna's defense attorney. You ever represented an actual gang member?
I've represented a lot of gang members. I grew up in a neighborhood surrounded by gangs. The only thing I can say is that the gang members that I spent my formative years trying to avoid would be sitting on their porch laughing about this, because this is really a joke.
So what makes this group a criminal street gang? Well, for months, the Maricopa County Attorney's Office has refused to explain publicly. Prosecutors got the charges through a grand jury, a confidential, one-sided process. But we confirmed the secret testimony they told jurors. And it is truly unbelievable. To charge as a street gang in Arizona, the law is broad. You just need 2 of the following criteria. And here are the ones that officials say fit this group. They carry umbrellas. They wear mostly black. And they chanted, "All cops are bastards." And for that, officials labeled them the ACAB gang. But here's maybe the most unbelievable part. Court records show the state called a police witness to testify that ACAB was just as dangerous and in many ways more dangerous than notorious gangs like the Crips and the Bloods. The Crips and the Bloods. For reference, it's estimated that those street gangs have committed more than 15,000 homicides, while this group carries umbrellas. Tell me about the umbrella. Did you bring one? Did someone give one to you?
Yeah, I didn't bring one. I was handed one when I got there. I was under the impression it was to protect us from tear gas. And I learned later, apparently, it's also to protect us from people like the alt-right protest or whatever they were following us, because they can dox you, which did happen to me after I was arrested.
Here's a look at the, quote, patriots that were there.
I got it all on film.
They're extremists, armed, wearing vests. This one, with the Punisher logo, has a criminal record.
Yes, we are, ACP.
During the arrest, when officers order them back, she claims to be press and name drops a connection to a Phoenix cop.
Ask Detective Hillman.
I was sent threatening messages, death threats, sexual assault threats.
Oh, so people threaten to kill you and rape you?
Yes.
But you're the gang member?
Correct.
Once again, a gang member for wearing black, chanting, and carrying an umbrella. This is like bad. Meet alleged gang member Ryder Collins. He didn't do any of those things.
That night in jail, it was just like, any minute now, they're gonna be like, well, you can get out of here. You know, clearly you don't know anybody here.
Ryder asked to keep his mask on for this interview to set an example, because he's a nurse from Prescott. He comes down to Phoenix on weekends to shoot photography. It's why he was downtown that night.
We walked around and caught the sunset in downtown. It's really kind of cool because the light will go through the buildings and makes these really cool shadows.
After admiring the shadows, Ryder saw the commotion.
I see this lady with a GoPro camera, and she's filming along the sidewalk, and she's like yelling and screaming at these huddled group of people with umbrellas in the middle of the street.
Get a job, commies!
And I said, oh, okay, and just followed along on the sidewalk with her for a while.
Her video proves it. Ryder's here, holding a camera, not an umbrella. He's not even with the group.
No, I was with her on the sidewalk, following along with my camera.
So how did he get arrested at the end? You're like, what, across the street on the other corner?
Yeah, I'm like the opposite corner, so I'd say at least 150 feet away.
Watch that guy right there.
Here to my right, a couple of cops say something like, that's the guy. He's been following the group, get him.
Ryder and the others face between 8 and 32 years in prison.
I'm sure it's ruined other lives, and then they're attempting to ruin mine, and it's just not right. I didn't do these things that they're charging me with.
And don't forget the larger context here. This protest, these arrests, came after a very long summer for Phoenix police. I mean, why do you think they're doing this?
I think they're doing it because they want to silence us. And obviously when you're facing 4 felonies, it can silence you and shut you up pretty quick.
And based on what an officer told Amy in custody, she believes that is exactly the goal.
He pulled me aside in a room and said, I heard you talking about your job and it's important to you and you really, seem to like your career. Just so you know, if you keep doing this kind of stuff, you're not gonna have a career anymore. And I was like, is that a threat? And he said, no, I'm just letting you know.
In prepared written statements, the Maricopa County Attorney's Office denies this is a political prosecution and says, quote, "We will not allow violence to take over our streets." Now you can see their video evidence and full testimony at abc15.com/protest.
And our politically charged investigation is ongoing. It continues tonight at 6 with more on these gang charges. And then at 10 p.m., we are going to show you an actual trophy Phoenix officers kept to celebrate shooting a protester.
It is 10 past the hour. Promising news in the fight against COVID-19. Next on ABC 15 Mornings, we could be weeks away from seeing the world's first ever single-dose COVID vaccine. Plus, celebrating and honoring Black History Month by supporting local businesses. Ahead, a restaurant that combines the East Coast with Arizona to create a truly unique flavor. New this morning, the FDA may soon approve the world's first single-dose COVID vaccine. The shot made by Johnson & Johnson is now under consideration by federal regulators. Early trial results show the vaccine is 66% effective against moderate to severe COVID symptoms and 100% effective at preventing hospitalizations and deaths. An FDA panel will meet at the end of this month to discuss the approval.
Well, Arizona is expected to pass a major milestone today. More vaccines administered than the total number of reported COVID-19 cases. It is certainly welcome news for the doctors in this fight longer than a year. And we talked with some of them to hear what they've learned since that first case.
As we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic is not over, but as hospital metrics trend the right direction, we're hearing about some of the lessons learned throughout the course of this pandemic. A couple of doctors with Mayo Clinic saying they wish they knew how long the pandemic would last, that communication between entities like public health departments and hospital systems, it needed improvement early on. One doctor also saying the pandemic has shown how social inequity kills people, noting the populations who have essential jobs who can't work from home and thus have been put at higher risk for contracting the virus. We also talked with a doctor from Honor Health who tells me finding the right approach to patients is a big pandemic challenge.
We have this stress level that has just fluctuated based on, are we in a surge, are we not in a surge? The unanswered questions regarding treatments, what works, what doesn't work.
And while our health systems have dealt with and overcome challenges and a lot of unknowns over the past year, it's not over as concerns linger over emerging coronavirus variants. In Phoenix, Mike Pelton, ABC 15, Arizona.
ABC 15 Desert Drive Time, sponsored by Accident Law Group.
Thanks so much, Mike. Chelsea here. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I want to show you our Accident Law Group traffic maps. The good news is one of the crashes that we had out there is gone now. It was on I-10 eastbound at I-17. We were seeing activity off to the right shoulder, and it's gone. So now with our ADOT cam that I can pop up on the screen, look at that magic, right? You will not be seeing too many delays, even on I-17 as you're traveling northbound or even southbound approaching the stack there. So that's some good news. Oh, goody. Live TV means live updates, and the other crash that was on Loop 101 northbound at Olive is gone too. So there you have it. Back to these Friday light flows. Even when they were there, though, we were still seeing mostly green conditions. North Valley, I-17, the 303, Carefree Highway looking nice. East Valley, same story. US 60, I-10, Loop 101, all of the 202s. In a few minutes, I'll show you some desert drive times here. But for now, let's check in with meteorologist Iris Hermosillo. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Chelsea. Well, as we talk about that forecast, I've got to tell you, it's quite a bit colder than it was at this time yesterday. So I don't know about you, but I know my heater keeps coming on. You're probably waking up to your heater coming on at your house too. Maybe the last few mornings it hasn't done it so much, but this morning we're about 10 degrees cooler than we were 24 hours ago. And it's quite a bit cooler down in Southeast 15 degrees cooler than 24 hours ago and 12 degrees cooler than this same time yesterday in Flagstaff. It is only in the teens as you wake up with us here in Flagstaff. 12 degrees as we speak, 17 degrees in Heber and the Grand Canyon, also in the teens. Winslow as well at just 19 degrees here at this hour. As you get ready to step outside in the high country, again, you're going to notice the temperature difference, and you'll want to make sure that you're really bundled up in northern Arizona. We're also below freezing in Prescott, where we're right at 31 degrees, and we're sitting right at that freezing mark in Payson. Now for Phoenix, it's not as cold, of course, but it is colder as our temperature is down to 49 degrees right now at Phoenix Sky Harbor. But as you look at temperatures across the rest of the valley, we're talking mainly low to mid 40s. The exception, some neighborhoods in Chandler down into the 30s this morning. So yeah, you're going to notice it. 37 degrees in Chandler right now. It's 44 in Peoria, 46 in Goodyear, and 45 in Scottsdale. So you may need a heavier sweater or jacket as you step outside. But all in all today, it's going to be a really gorgeous day. Now layers, obviously a good idea. Know that it's going to stay cooler generally in comparison to where we've been the last several days, even in comparison to yesterday. Yesterday was a cooler day with a high of 75. Today, we're going to shave off a few more degrees. We'll top out at 71 degrees this afternoon. So that means we're going to spend most of the afternoon in the 60s today. We'll hit those 60s by around 11 a.m. A high today of 71 in Phoenix and in Chandler, Ahwatukee, and Glendale. We'll make it to 66 today in Cave Creek, 69 in Wickenburg, or Buckeye rather, 68 in Wickenburg, and we'll hit 70 for a high today in Gilbert and in Tempe. Across Arizona, after starting out in the teens this morning, you'll make it into the upper 40s in Flagstaff, mid 50s in Prescott, and 72 for a high today at Lake Havasu. We'll keep the clear skies around all day long today, and we're also going to deal with more of those breezes along the upper Colorado River Valley. It's been breezy there through the morning. Right now, those winds are at about 16 miles an hour. No wind advisories today, but we will continue to see those northerly winds increase in speed as they funnel down the river, with gusts as high as about 30 miles an hour possible there. And for the valley, light winds overall. I'm going to put Futurecast into motion. You're going to see we've got nothing but clear skies today, clear skies tomorrow, and just a few high clouds moving in on Sunday. It's going to be a gorgeous looking weekend, just a little bit warmer, 73 on Saturday and 74 on Sunday, but picture perfect. Even next week, temperatures will top out in the mid 70s. We've got more clouds in the forecast for next week. We'll talk about whether there are any signs of rain or high country snow in the next half hour.
Thinking game day Sunday is going to have those windows open for a lot of us, Iris. Thank you very much. A new proposal could allow theme parks in California to reopen sooner. Right now, places like Disneyland can only open when their counties are in the yellow zone. It means minimal spread of COVID. The new plan would treat theme parks like smaller venues, allowing them to open in the orange tier. Right now, almost all California counties are in the purple zone, or most restrictive tier.
Day 2 of the Waste Management Phoenix Open tees off this morning just before 8 o'clock. 5,000 fans will be allowed on the course. After Thursday's round, several of the golfers said it was strange how quiet it was, since our tournament is often referred to as the People's Open. Pretty lively usually. Still to come, expanding funding to some kids while possibly taking money away from public education. We go in depth looking at both sides of a bill moving throughout the state Senate.
Plus, it was the first barbecue restaurant to open downtown Phoenix. The owner has competed on the Food Network. We're going to take you to a great place if you are looking for wings or maybe some pulled pork sliders on Super Bowl Sunday.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, we are really focused on raising awareness for the Black-owned businesses in our communities that need your support. It's Black History Month, and that's what we're going to do with our We're Open Arizona series. And today, we'd like you to meet one of these really amazing people named Phil the Grill Johnson. And if you've never heard of him before, you're going to want to check out his spot. Now, he moved to Arizona and opened Trap House Barbecue. That's the restaurant you'll want to check out. It's on Roosevelt Row. This opened about 3 years ago, and he's created a signature style, what he calls a freestyle, combining flavors from New York and Arizona. Phil has been on on several national competition shows and has spent some time working with Martha Stewart as well. We talked to him about the highs and the lows and how he's doing since the pandemic began.
Definitely rebounding. Things are going good. We're looking for expansion, trying to do more patio seating, and then also moving the bar area to where we have more of a lounge area and more dining room seating. Really changing it to more of a family style barbecue restaurant, whether you want to come in and dine with us or take it home. But that's what the Trap House is all about. It's just that family style, love and feeling, of just good comfort food.
Like he mentioned, you can either dine in or get some food to go, and you might want to try out the Rub Me All Over rub.
Big barbecue competition. It's called the American Royal. My rub was entered, and it was named the 20th best rub in the planet. So, it's great because the rub is a part of New York and then a part of Arizona, all blended together in a bottle.
Little sweet, little heat. It's so good. Phil the Grill is the best, and he's offering specials for the big game on Sunday, Valentine's Day, and more. If you want to learn more, you can check out his site, philthegrill.com, or you can go to traphousebarbecue.com. And if you know of another local business that you want us to feature, please email us, openandaz@abc15.com.
Got to check this out. Looks like you had some cornbread, too. He's talking my language there. All right,
that guy,
check this
Chelsea.
out. Phil the Grill. Hey, a Houston man is hoping to make some big money Sunday, placing one of the largest Super Bowl bets of all time.
I mean, talk about some cha-ching here. Jim McInvale is putting down more than $3 million, and he says Tampa Bay is going to win the big game. Now, it's a two-part bet here. Point spread of plus 3.5 here. Last year, he also bet against the Chiefs.
There you go. Well, that didn't work out so well for him, so we'll have to see if he can redeem himself. Hey, don't forget, today's the last day to help this Arizona Cardinals superfan make it to the Hall of Fans. Christy Brown is a mom, she's a nurse, and a former Cards cheerleader. Voting ends today. Just head to FordsHallOfFans.com to vote for Christy. Christy.
It's easy to vote, by the way.
Yeah.
Do it.
Got to get her there. Got to get her over the finish line. Next at 6:30, the vaccine rollout continues, but herd immunity is likely still months away. An ABC15 Health Insider look at how long this process is.
Then using public money for private education. Up next, the arguments for and against a new bill that could change the school landscape across Arizona.